What have I been telling you guys for the last 2 weeks? Just wait for the NFL Combine to get here, and that's when a bunch of the juicy rumors are going to come out. And sure enough, we've got a very juicy report coming out regarding Justin Fields, the Bears, and the Falcons, because evidently the Bears GM, Ryan Poles, and Atlanta's GM, Terry Fontenot, cracked open a couple of cold Diet Cokes, and they started talking about a Justin Fields trade. This one comes in from NBC Sports Chicago's Josh Schrock, who wrote, "A league source told NBC Sports Chicago that the Falcons have checked in with the Bears about Fields. It's unclear how far those conversations went, but there's reason to expect them to pick back up this week in Indianapolis." It's happening, guys. He's a Falcon. And I've never said this before and been wrong about someone, so don't look at the last month or so during the coaching search, but I'm telling you this time, Justin Fields is a Falcon. And I'm very excited about this because I think this would be a great trade for Atlanta. We can throw some of Justin Fields' stats on screen as B-roll, but I think we all know what kind of player Justin Fields is. He's a playmaker. He can extend plays. He's got a cannon of an arm, which you do not see very often for guys that tend to be known as rushers before passers, but that's not Justin Fields. That's a lazy take. Justin Fields, sure, scrambles and extends plays, and when he's on the move, he's very tough to bring down, but he's got an elite deep field, downfield pass with great accuracy and velocity on his pass, and if you don't believe me, go back and watch the Falcons-Bears game from Week 17 all over again. He was spraying the Atlanta secondary with great passes down the field. I'm a big fan of Justin Fields. I think he's going to be a legit franchise quarterback for a team. And if the Bears didn't luck their way into having the first overall pick, thanks to the Carolina Panthers, there would be no real chatter in Chicago about, we got to move on from Justin Fields. No, it's just very unique timing where they've got a really good quarterback, an up-and-coming guy, but they also have the first overall pick in a draft class with a potential superstar quarterback that some say has higher grades coming out than Trevor Lawrence and Andrew Luck did. So I don't blame Chicago for not wanting to pass on a generational-type talent in Caleb Williams, and I definitely don't blame the Falcons for wanting to pick up Justin Fields, where I think he still has some great football ahead of him, and we are just scratching the surface. So when a Falcons trade does happen, you will know because you're subscribed to the channel. We're going to get you guys a video as soon as possible. So join nearly 20,000 strong here at Falcons Today and hit the sub button down below. Now let's get to more on the Justin Fields trade rumors. Ryan Poles, the Bears GM, he spoke to the media yesterday at Indianapolis, and he said that if they were to trade Justin Fields, which, I mean, you usually don't get very much out of GMs during this, so the fact that he even had those words come out of his mouth, I think says a lot, that they would do right by Justin, and they would trade him before NFL free agency started. That way, he doesn't go through the entire free agency period wondering, what team am I even on? NFL free agency unofficially kicks off on March 11th. I don't think we're going to see a trade happen during the Combine. That would be a big distraction for these teams who are there to scout NFL prospects. But shortly after the Combine, I think we're going to see a Justin Fields trade to Atlanta go down. Raheem Morris spoke to the media yesterday. We put that entire interview on our channel. But I think this little snippet from it is very important. He talked about the Falcons quarterback search and said, you want to go get the best fit for your people. You want to get the best fit for your coaches. You want to go get the best fit for our city and want to do all those things. There's nothing ruled out. I forgot to mention trades because all of those things come into play. We've been really tedious. We've been really going through the process of how we are going to acquire the best fit for us. Does anyone notice a word that jumped out to you? How about the word fit? Kept using the word fit. What better fit than Justin Fields, who went to Harrison from Kennesaw, coming back home to Atlanta and being a player that everyone adored, whether it was at UGA or whether it was while he was in high school just outside of Atlanta. There's no better fit than Justin Fields coming back to the Falcons. Terry Fontenot also spoke to the media when he was asked about what he looks for in a quarterback. I thought this was very interesting. It's the neck up, and it's about who you are as a person. There's a lot of different flavors, skill sets, physical attributes, but what never changes is it's about the makeup and the character and the work ethic. Go talk to any Bears fan. Go read or listen to what any Bears reporter has ever said about Justin Fields, and there is one constant. Justin Fields, as a human, as a person, is a tremendous guy. He's got incredible work ethic. All of his teammates love him. If you are looking for a guy that is a great person from the neck up, that's going to come in and bust their tail every single day, that's got phenomenal work ethic that will not be beaten, that is Justin Fields. So I've got Raheem Morris talking about a great fit, Justin Fields. I've got Terry Fontenot talking about we're looking for a guy from the neck up. That's Justin Fields. The Bears coaches, front office, media members, fans, all of them are in complete agreement that Justin Fields, well, yeah, he's not the perfect quarterback. He holds onto the ball for a tad too long. He sometimes doesn't take what the defense gives him. It leads to turnovers, and those have to be corrected. But there is no denying that, head and shoulders up, Justin Fields is a terrific human being. And it sounds like that's what Terry Fontenot is looking for first and foremost. So let's just go surface level here. Do you want a Justin Fields trade, right? Yes or no? Gun to your head, don't overthink it. Like Michael Scott, do you want to be with Jan? Yes or no? Do you want Justin Fields? Yes or no? Get in the comment section below, and while you're typing your response, give me 60 seconds or so to tell you guys about PrizePicks, our awesome sponsor today. Now, PrizePicks gave me some notes and some scripts to read, but I want to start off by saying this much. My producer today, Tyler Smith, told me there's a great game out there called Cincinnati versus Oklahoma State that you should go with. Didn't work out, but you know what? I don't have to listen to Smitty talk about his stat projections on PrizePicks because with PrizePicks, it's very simple and way easier, and that's why it's America's and North America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. You take the more or less on players. That's it. No hoops to jump through, no other confusing jargon to get through. Just, will Mookie Betts have more or less than 32.5 home runs in 2024? I'm taking the more on it. So if you like these selections, feel free to ride with me by going to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS. Now, I should mention there's a certain month right around the corner called March that's got some really fun games in it. So if you are looking to maybe watch some of the basketball games with some extra bonus interest, you can do that on PrizePicks, which even offers injury insurance. So let's say you have a player in your entry who gets injured in the first half and doesn't return in the second half. PrizePicks will just remove that injured player from your entry, and you are still in the ball game. So get started today at PrizePicks. Download the app and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. I have put all that information in the comments and description of today's video. Don't be a loser like me and Smitty who thought Oklahoma State had no chance winning at Cincinnati. Get started with PrizePicks today. It's player stat projections at the easiest and simplest form. Also, I want to switch gears for a moment here and talk about, for those of you that say you want to draft a quarterback, I don't disagree. Drafting a quarterback gives you long-term options in terms of not just 2 years on Justin Fields' rookie deal to evaluate whether or not this is the guy. You get to reset the quarterback clock a little bit. But I keep saying this, and I think people are not fully grasping the importance of it takes two to trade. Who is saying that the Bears, the Commanders, or the Patriots want to move down and pass on one of these top three quarterbacks? Sure, the Falcons may have interest in one of these top three guys. Who wouldn't? But it takes two to trade. And so if Atlanta, after the first day at St. Elmo Steakhouse in Indianapolis, discover none of the top teams want to move down, or if they even are open to it, they are asking for such a ridiculous price that the Falcons aren't going to play ball and go, listen, we're not going to give up 3 future firsts, 2 seconds, and a third to go from 8 to 3. Like every man's got a price, and the Patriots and the Commanders, even if they are loosely open to trading down, which I don't think they are, they would want an unbelievable historic haul that I think even if you saw what it might cost to move up, you may even go, listen, I like Jaden Daniels. I like Drake May. But I don't know if I love him so much that I want to give up 3 firsts, 2 seconds, and an extraordinary amount of picks. I mean, look how that went for the Carolina Panthers last year. So it always takes 2 to trade. I understand that people want to move up and get some of these guys, but there's no guarantee that they're going to be there at 8, or even if they slip out of the top 3 and you trade up to 4, 5, or 6 to get them. You want to bank on that going into April? If that doesn't happen, you come out of the draft. It's too late to get Justin Fields. He's already been traded by now. All the top free agents have signed. You didn't land the quarterback of your dreams because you were hoping that they would fall. That's a big risk right there. And I don't think the Falcons, with a new regime, want to put all their eggs in the basket of, fingers crossed one of them slips to us. That doesn't seem like a very wise bet to make. So what does it cost to get Justin Fields? This is my trade projection. I've tossed around with it. I've toyed with it. I think it's a second-round pick this year, the 43rd overall pick going to Chicago, and a future 4th-round pick. So a second and a very early day 3 pick. Maybe that day 3 pick is conditional. That wouldn't surprise me. We saw that with Calvin Ridley. If the Falcons were to re-sign Justin Fields, it goes from a 4th to a 3rd. But this is just a rough ballpark of what it would cost to land Justin Fields in my eyes. Now, with that being said, let's talk about the financial side of trading for Justin Fields. What would the Falcons owe him contract-wise? Well, his 2024 base salary is $1.6 million. When you trade for a player, you are not trading for their cap hit. That is not how trades work from a contract perspective. You are taking on their base salary. Now, sometimes you also take on a signing bonus or a roster bonus, depending on whether or not those have already been paid out. And I don't know if Justin Fields' signing and roster bonus for 2024 have already been paid out. But more often than not, it's just the base salary, which here is $1.6 million. Could be a little bit more, but this gives you a good ballpark range. Now, his 2025 fifth-year option, which that decision has to be made by May this year, is worth $25.6 million. That's a big number. There's no denying that. But you know what's bigger than 25.6? How much the NFL salary cap went up this year. $30 million. $25.6 million in 2025 for a starting quarterback is going to be like couch change. It's going to be coins you find in between seat cushions. The Atlanta Falcons are going to have a bunch of cap space. $95 million in cap space in 2025. So don't worry about the $25.6 million cap hit for that fifth-year option. Sure, if you pick it up and it doesn't go well in 2024, that's a bummer. I'm not going to downgrade that. But $25.6 million in 2025 is going to look a lot smaller than it does right now. Trust me. Also, for those of you out there that are afraid of having to extend him, stop it. Think about this for a moment. Your biggest fear is that Justin Fields plays so well, the Falcons have to pay him. Do you know how many teams would love to have that problem? That is the greediest first world problem I've ever heard. Our quarterback's so good, we got to pay him now. There's a long list of teams that are just looking for a good quarterback to pay. This is a great problem for Atlanta to have to pay your starting quarterback because he's really good at his job. Get out of here with this nonsense. I hope and pray that the Atlanta Falcons have such a great season with Justin Fields in 2024 that they extend him for 2025 and beyond. They give him a nice big fat contract because they have their franchise quarterback. That's a much better problem to have than looking for a quarterback yet again for another straight offseason. Stop it with that nonsense. And like I said, the Falcons' 2025 cap space right now is $95.6 million. You take $25 million out of that, you still got a boatload of cash to spend. So Atlanta does not have a bunch of big contracts on their books that would prohibit them from picking up a fifth-year option. And if it doesn't work out, they're going to be in a tight squeeze. Now, financially, they're going to be just fine. Now, before we get on out of here, I do want to ask those of you still watching, because this is my favorite crew right here. It's the end of the video crew. Do you guys want a second video today? I came in this morning prepared to talk about some of the players the Falcons met with at the NFL Combine and get to know them a little bit, but I think Justin Fields' trade rumors takes the cake. So let me know if you would like me to do a second Falcons video before I leave the office today by typing me in the comments section. That will do it for us on today's episode. For now, I guess, if we get a second one. But we're going to sign off, and we will catch up with you guys later.